Warning: this video will explain in depth the concept of frozen lane using some highest level competitive gameplay footage. Important pointers are highlighted in the video, and players like you who watch to the end of the video will see drastic increase in your knowledge of how to be a better player. Guaranteed.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you, just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with.
Yo guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy AssassinDave, and welcome back to another episode of What Pros Never Tell You series featuring the Frozen Lane. Now before we get started, I know more than half of y'all beautiful sexy people watching here has yet to subscribe to join the coolest, greatest, baddest family in the world of Mobile Legends. If you enjoy the content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn that bell on to all notification bells. I upload videos on a regular daily basis to keep you guys entertained and informed. Now if you're the type of gentleman and lady who likes some incredible mukbang experience or to learn some great tips guys for League of Legends Wild Rift, well make sure to subscribe to my mukbang channel, Dave and Cece, and the new Wild Rift YouTube channel, the AssassinDave Experience, with the links in description. Love you guys, and without further ado, let's get into the video. What is Frozen Lane? In short, freezing lane is a fundamental mechanic pro player use to solidify a snowballed game into victory. If you and your team find yourself winning early game but having a hard time closing out a game or getting frequently reverse sweeped, well take out your notepad because I'm about to rock your socks off. About to make your life a lot easier. To understand freezing lane concept, you first need to understand two fundamental principles in MOBA. Number one, it's never how much farm you have or your team has. Rather, it's almost always the goal difference that defines the tide of the game. What does this mean in actual games? Most hyper carry players will keep on shoving minion waves because minion waves equal to farm to them. But what they miss to understand is that minion waves are always exactly mirrored on both sides, assuming that no one has an unfair super minion advantage, obviously. Meaning that if you shove a wave, yes, it does give you farm, but it doesn't put you ahead, because enemy team can just wait for your minion wave to arrive under their feet and then clear it for the same amount of gold. Pro players usually only shove minion wave to achieve a specific purpose, providing lane pressure so they can rotate to other portion of the map. If no such need is required on the map, there's usually no reason to shove the lane, especially when you're ahead, because this will only provide your opponent with more gold, which potentially help them hit their power spike faster, which equals to more comeback potential for your opponents. So before you shove wave next time, remember to ask yourself, am I going anywhere after this, or am I just pulling another noob syndrome? Number two, in quality competitive play. Well, at least for decent teams who actually deserve a spot in the highlight, team fight always happen for a clear, defined objective, whether the objective being turtle, lord, tower, or simply a buff. It never randomly happens just because you want to kill or something. This has to go back to the MOBA 101, and that is the only way to win the game is to take down enemy crystal, and all the other stuff that happens in the game, such as killing people, getting turtle, taking down towers, is simply to assist you on that quest. Constantly looking for fights not only create a void of purpose in the game, it also easily tilts players because you will soon fall into the mind space of, what the fuck am I doing in this game? That's why when you watch the highest level competitions in Mobile Legends, you frequently see very little kills all across the board, and every kill that happened for a specific purpose. Basically, if you focus on objectives, team fights will follow naturally, and you will be more prepared for it since you probably had a game plan on how to take that objective on. If you don't, well, that's a topic for another What Pros Never Tell You series. So, with these principles in mind, what is freezing lane then? Basically, it usually happens when your team has a significant control over the map and you probably push all the outer turrets and leaving only high ground towers standing. Enemies are hard stuck in their base and there's no clear objective on the map that can be easily obtained. Instead of shoving lanes, don't. You can stand on top of the minion wave, you can hide in the enemy jungle, you can do whatever you want really, just don't touch the minion wave. This way, you force your opponents to choose the following two things. Either take the risk and come outside the base to fight against a team that's far ahead in gold and itemization, or simply stay in base and patiently wait for a slow death. But since there's no minion waves going into their base, since you guys are not shoving it, you're freezing it, the only income that they will receive in the game is a base salary that the game grants everyone, which can be completely ignored. How long should I freeze the lane then? Well, you can do this until the next major objective spawns, such as the Lord. Then you can shove the lane, providing lane pressure again, and then transfer that pressure to taking down the Lord and eventually taking down the game. In order to explain this concept better, let's examine some pro-level competitions so you can see the concept live in action. In the Game 2 of BTK vs Gosu in the latest North America Challenger Cup Grand Finals, Team BTK was able to demonstrate to us the execution of freezing lane flawlessly. We start our journey at 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, where Gosu had a disconnect on engage. Boxia found himself jumping onto multiple BTK members alone, not only killed himself, but lured his teammates deep enough that Yuzhong is able to find the side flank. BTK secured a 3-0 and took the turtle as a reward. Beautiful example of team fight for objective. 7 minutes into the game, Yuzhong once again threw Gosu's entire backline carry off balance by landing a 3-man ult plus petrified combo, wiped out a Gosu core instantaneously, and BTK took a tier 1 tower along with another turtle on the map, further cementing their lead in the game. 10 minutes into the game, despite Gosu's desperate attempt, they were not able to pull away from the teamfight swiftly after a failed engage. BTK secured the fight with another 3-0 and immediately taking down Lord afterwards. Now I hope you guys have seen the trend so far. Every single teamfight that BTK have won successfully are connected to objective right afterwards. It's like a beautifully orchestrated music. You know, everything's on a beat and you're easily left with, wow, the game is so clean. Now you understand what clean games are made of, objective-based teamfights. Now here comes the frozen lane in action. After the Lord was taken down, Yuzhong went to bottom lane to even out the minion waves, making sure that all 3 lanes will arrive at Gosu's base at the same time. Meanwhile, Granger and Lilia did not just shove the mid lane wave. Instead, they froze the lane by leaving the lane alone, and they hid themselves in a Gosu red side bush and patiently waited. It's not until Yuzhong managed to push up the bottom lane did BTK hit a defrost button on the minion wave in mid lane and sending the tsunami of minions into Gosu's space, including the Lord. They took down 2 high ground towers with very little effort. Now, with over 12,000 gold lead, only 1 high ground tower remaining, it was not long afterwards before Gosu's base completely collapsed and BTK took the victory like a breeze. Now I hope today's episode of What Pros Never Tell You series is helpful to you and your team. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. Love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it.